Vietnam is integrating deeply into the global economy with an example of the approval of EVFTA. So when the EVFTA has come into effect, what are the notable opportunities we have and challenges for your organizations in promoting workers' rights?
Thank you for your question. As you all know that the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement (EVFTA) have been was approved last year in June, and the official start is from August 2020. As an organization working on labor rights in Vietnam, CDI is we really welcome the EVFTA, especially this free trade agreement has a separated chapter on sustainable development. The 13th chapter is really important for social organizations like us. Right after the officials start of the free trade agreement, Vietnam government have issued the plan to implement the agreement. In that plan, Vietnam has stated clearly 5 key tasks which are really important. Among those 5 major tasks, we can see that Vietnam commit to reform its legal and institutional development, and also Vietnam committed to undertake and improve their policies towards trade union and workers' representations at workplace. This is a new development in the labor movement in Vietnam. We really look forward to the new establishment of the workers' representative at enterprise levels. And also Vietnam commit to promote the social protection and sustainable development in the coming time, which really means towards the social inclusion and also protection for all people in Vietnam. That bring a lot of hope and opportunities for social organizations like us. But also the implementation plan is not just a plan, it also creates a lot of challenges. One of the mechanisms which have been very well known for EVFTA is the domestic advisory group, the DAC mechanism under EVFTA, and many organizations expect that the DAC mechanism can bring more participation from civil society to the policy debate and policy implementation in Vietnam. However, so far the DAC process has not yet completed in Vietnam. The DAC establishment had just started last year, by end of last year, and many government representatives and civil society has expressed their interest in participating in DAC. But so far the process has not completed, and we don't know clearly about the next step and how that will function in the coming time.
Oh, okay. So obviously this is gonna bring a lot of opportunities, right? So how does your organization intend to optimize such such opportunities and cope with the challenges?
As shared with you before, we will take the advantage of the policy and institutional reform in Vietnam and to contribute in better policy for target group, especially workers in Vietnam. We have been participating in the labor code revision in 2019, and now we will continue to join in the development of further decrease and circular under the labor code. Another thing we expect that we can work together with other DAC members to raise the voice and concerns from the workers and vulnerable group in Vietnam to bring the issue, the social issue to higher level discussions.
Okay. So thank you for the discussion. We highly appreciate your cooperation here. So this is going to be the end. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay. As we know, CDI has a lot of internship programs, right? From which school or what kind of partnership to universities that you had?
Well, you're correct that CDI has worked with a number of universities in Vietnam to have Vietnamese interns and volunteers, such as Hanoi University, Law School of Vietnam National University, and Foreign Trade University. And we also work with University of Social Science.
Hello, we've been learning a lot about Vietnam and how it's an emerging country. So set out for Vietnam in promoting protection of worker rights. What is the condition of labor unions or government organizations regarding this? And what are the scopes of these labor unions and organizations? And do these scopes cover disadvantaged populations as well? Thank you.
Well, CPTPP refers to Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, and EVFTA for Europe-Vietnam Free Trade Agreements. There are new generations of FTAs which attempt to address sustainability challenge of free trade by incorporating labor and environment requirements. Chapter 13 on trade and sustainable development requires Vietnam and the EU reaffirms its commitments in accordance with its obligations under the ILO, International Labour Organization. It can be affirmed that so far Vietnam has made major steps toward the ratification of ILO fundamental conventions as well as in revising the labor code. In fact, Vietnam has ratified 7 out of 8 fundamental of the ILO, including Convention 105 on abolition of forced labor convention on June 2020. And as far as I know, the National Assembly planned to ratify Convention 87 on freedom of association and protection of the right to organize in 2023. Well, good things take time and there are differences, but I am an optimist person, so let's look forward for the best.
Hi everyone, my name is Semen and I'm going to talk about my perception of Vietnam. So prior to visiting Vietnam, I thought of Vietnam as a very backwards country. I thought that it is probably, since it's a communist state, it's probably outdated in some of its ideas. I didn't think they would have as many facilities as they do, and this was solely based reading up on its political history. And so my perception of Vietnam was very limited and narrow. However, having visited the country, I realised that I was completely wrong. Vietnam is actually literally very close to developing as a nation. Although there is a clear urban and rural divide, you can see that the country has come very, very far since the Vietnamese War. To me, Vietnam is filled with culture. It's filled with amazing, incredible people, an amazing cuisine. All in all, it is literally a place not to miss visiting. I'm so glad I got to visit. And personally, it has changed my thinking as well, in the sense that I don't think people like myself are able to judge a developing country from a Western perspective, which I thought I was doing prior to visiting. I think that's one thing that I've learned, and it has definitely changed my thinking and my perception of the country overall.
Yeah, Vietnam's development over the past 30 years has been remarkable. Economic and political reforms under đổi mới, renovation, launched in 1986, have spurred rapid economic growth, transforming what was then one of the world's poorest nations into a lower middle income country. Between 2002 and 2018, GDP per capita increased by 2.7 times, and more than 45 million people were lifted out of poverty. Poverty rates declined sharply from over 70% to below 6% according to World Bank. The vast majority of Vietnam's remaining poor, 86%, are ethnic minorities. While Vietnam is trying so hard to achieve and maintain inclusive and sustainable growth,